Professor Horror. Scary Stories.
Shadows in the rear view. Hannah had always been a night owl, so the midnight drive from the city to her childhood home in the countryside was nothing unusual. It was late autumn, and the faint light from the crescent moon shimmered on the wet road. A drizzle from earlier had left the air smelling of petrichor and cold metal. Her trusty old sedan made the familiar turns and curves effortlessly as Hannah's thoughts drifted to the visit ahead. Her mother had been ill, and she had taken a few days off of work to care for her. Occasionally, she would glance up at her rearview mirror, a habit cultivated from years of city driving. The road behind her was empty, save for the occasional pair of headlights that would eventually turn off into some other byway. About halfway to her destination, she noticed a black sedan that seemed to be following her. At first, she brushed it off, reminding herself that this was a main road and that cars weren't uncommon to be headed the same direction. But after several miles, a chilling realization struck her. The sedan was mirroring her every move. If she changed lanes, it changed lanes. If she sped up, it sped up. And each time she checked the rearview mirror, all she could see were its bright headlights and vague silhouette of a driver. Panic began to grip Hannah. She remembered stories of road rage incidents, unsuspecting drivers being followed home, and terrifying encounters on lonely roads. She tried to convince herself that she was being paranoid, but the nagging feeling wouldn't let go. As the road stretched on, isolation became palpable. She hadn't passed another car in what felt like hours. In desperation, she decided to take a detour, hoping to lose the pursuer. She quickly turned onto a smaller country road surrounded by dense woods. To her horror, the black sedan followed. The winding path and towering trees made it feel like the world had closed on her. She considered calling the police, but realized her phone had no signal in this remote area. Determined to shake off the sedan, Hannah took a series of turns, even switching off her headlights momentarily to disappear into the night. But each maneuver was matched. The pursuer was relentless. An idea formed in her mind. Up ahead was Miller's Bridge. The bridge was old, and larger, heavier vehicles had a weight limit. Her light sedan would have no problem crossing, but the pursuing car would risk falling into the river below. With newfound determination, she floored the accelerator. The old bridge loomed ahead, illuminated by only her headlights. As she raced onto the wooden planks, they groaned under the strain, but she safely made it to the other side. She watched anxiously as the black sedan followed, seemingly unsure about the crossing. Then, to her astonishment and relief, it stopped, reversed, and disappeared back into the woods. With her heart still racing, Hannah went to her childhood home, where she recounted the harrowing tale to her parents. They immediately reported the incident to the local police. A few days later, an officer visited her home. The police had found the black sedan abandoned near Miller's Bridge. Inside were maps, photographs of various women, and disturbingly, a collection of personal items, jewelry, hairpins, and scarves that likely belonged to previous victims. Hannah shuddered, realizing how narrowly she had escaped. The incident left her shaken, but she took solace that she had managed to evade the dangerous predator using her wit and knowledge of the local roads. From then on, every time she glanced in her rearview mirror, she was reminded of that fateful night and the shadows that can lurk behind us, even in places that feel familiar.